worked on it maybe about 45 minutes, but I've just got it taped up so that I can keep most of the sand and dust and all. I'm getting inside the interior. I've already put the seats and everything back in. I put the new WeatherTech mats inside of it, so the interior is all together, everything's hooked up. So what I'm gonna do next will be, of course, like I told you in the last video, is I'm going to finish out these well joints, get all the ridges and all the seams right, and then spray some 2K primer on it. I'll put a little etching primer on it first, then put some 2K primer on it, probably a couple of coats, and then sand that out, get it good and smooth. And then I'll put some base color and clear all of that so that all of the inside the door trims will be finished up. And my intention is not to actually paint up in this part. I'm gonna blend just like I would on a fender or door or hood. This section here, after I get it all primed in, what I anticipate is blending maybe about right in here, and then I'll use some blending solvent to melt that in there. It'll be fine because it's gonna be inside. Same thing over here. I'm gonna get all of that finished out, etching primer, 2K primer, and then I'll come back and I'm gonna remove the or tape this up and just blend it into this. Same thing on the bottom, blend it both of the corners. Same thing on the front. Okay, told you I'd let you know when I was putting the etching primer on it. I just wanted to see it, let you see it here real quick. This is just 2 coats of etching primer. But you can see I've got my groove cut. I've got my line just about right down on the bottom. I'm still gonna put a little scratch filler in it, 2K scratch filler, but you can see she turned out very nice. You can see the center post here. I actually completed it yesterday. It's got 2 coats of etching primer on it. Look how nice that looks. Well, to me anyway. She's gonna be fine. Okay, look at the back side here. Again, what I'll do next is I'll scuff sand that 2K, etching primer a couple times, blow it off, clean it, and then I'll put me 2 coats of good 2K primer on it. And then after I sand that 2K primer down, it'll be ready for base color. So I wanted to show you right here, of course, I'm getting ready to etch prime this back part, and then I'll be finished. But you can see, there's my groove. It's just like matches the groove up here, and it has been measured. You can see the groove there. You just have to make that. Pretty easy. And I'll show you what really helped me. I don't know if you guys have seen them before, but it's a pretty nice little deal. It takes a 3/8 by 13-inch sanding belt, and that'll do a real straight line for you pretty quickly. It's air operated. They do make them electric. This is I think it was 25 bucks at Harbor Freight, and a pack of the belts, 5 of the belts, I think $5. Okay, 2 coats of etching primer here. So I finished it out, and there again you can see my groove. It's gonna be fine. It turned out great, I think. There's your center post, B-pillar. And again, should be fine. You can see the attention to detail I kind of took with just the inside of the doors, but you know, you want it right. And I'm not doing this for production. I own the truck, so I wanted it as good on the inside of the door jambs as on the outside. Okay, final steps on the etching primer. So I've sanded the complete rocker panel in B-pillar. And got my last coat of etching primer on it. And you can notice I put it on top of all the sand throughs, so I want my corrosion protection still there. So I'll scuff sand that just a little bit, then I'll put my 2K primer on top of it and up under the bottom as well. So everything should be good. nice and straight. Everything should line up. And again, I had pre-fit the doors, before I actually started my plastic work, so the doors should hang and adjust pretty easily. In the last video, I'd be applying a couple of coats of 2K primer, which I just finished up. You can see it's still flashing off, but I want to just show you the results. I'll tell you what, folks, you'll never know. I put that piece in there, and that's the way it's supposed to be. And a couple points about the 2K primer. First of all, it has a hardener, so it's catalyzed, and it cures up pretty quickly, which means that your base coat and all that doesn't tend to shrink into it, so it's a much better product than the old lacquer stuff. I don't know that you can even buy a lacquer primer anymore, but that's kind of what I grew up on. But I've advanced since then, working with Sherwin-Williams, Martin Senior as a tech guy, as I told you in my other videos. But it's a 4-to-1 ratio, and you apply a couple of coats, and I will say this, couple of coats, and it'll pretty much fill in a 36 grit scratch. I mean, that's kind of used to be unheard of, but it really makes a nice, smooth, sandable finish. And you can see there, I made my grooves in that. I've got my seam going all the way down, then she disappears here just like the other side. So all my body work is right. And again, you can see here, you'll notice right in here, it's a little rough, but the weather stripping goes over top of that. So you'll never see that part. You'll only see the part here. There's where I made my little groove, which matches the original equipment groove right there. Yeah, there you go. And then of course, where I welded her together up here, everything's good. And then coming down again, there's the OEM groove. And again, I had to actually make this one. She looks nice, welded in, everything's good here, and I've already primed it underneath. As you can see, here's your 2K high strength or high build urethane primer. So again, it's urethane, so it's got to have a hardener. So part number FP410, and then the hardener that goes with it, FH411. And again, right on the side here, 4-to-1 ratio. So what I did there was I just took my cup, you put some measuring cups, and that's the one I actually used right there. And you just dial to the 4-to-1 mark right there, 4-to-1. And then as long as you take those, if you'll notice it's 4-1-to-1. If you're doing just a 4-to-1 ratio, you just use the first two. Don't worry about that last one. That's for some of the paint products. It takes an extra bit of reducer or blender. You can use that ratio there, but you're basically looking at the 4-to-1. And you'll notice you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the left-hand column. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle column. Some people get confused. They think they want to go 4-to-1 and try to figure it out, but what you do is just match the number. So try to get an idea in your head how much product you're going to use. And then on this example, if you see the lacquer thinner I've got lacquer thinner in this cup here for cleanup, but it's actually sitting at the 3. So basically what I would do now, let's just say that lacquer thinner is the 2K primer that I poured in. Okay, so when it's up to the 3 mark, all I have to do now is just pour in my hardener to the corresponding number in the second column. So I would pour that hardener up to the 3. So when I've got 3 of primer, go up to the next 3 for hardener, I've got a perfect 4-to-1 ratio. Stir it up, put it in your gun after you strain it, and shoot it about 18-20 pounds HVLP. Okay, just finished putting the base color on it and the pearl coat. So the base color and the mid coat. And I did do a let down panel, so I knew how many coats of pearl to put on it. 3 coats matches the rest of the truck, so that's what I did. So I'm getting ready to put my clear on it now. And what I'll do as soon as I put the clear on it, you'll notice I didn't paint the entire cab, whatever. I'm gonna blend it up, put some solvent on the corner here, can see everything matched in very well. So what I'll do is get my clear mixed up. Probably put a couple of coats on it, and then as a feather edge this cab corner and the front fender end, I'll take my blending solvent and actually go ahead and get that blended. Let me show you what I'm using today. This is a diamond pearl, which would have been a pearl coat, Sherwin-Williams, and of course the base color to begin with is right here. It's 800J mid coat. Okay, we'll call it mid coat, and you can see base coat. So I'll put this one on first. Then I came back with 3 coats of the pearl to get her to match in. It's cool out here today, so of course I'm using the Fast Clear Acme product FC710, and you'll notice it's a 4-to-1 ratio, just like the etching primer. Twist it around here so you can see it. Right there. Ultimate spot and panel clear coat. You know what I just noticed on that one? It doesn't have the mixing ratio. This one does. Look at the old can. 4-to-1. That's not on this one. Interesting. And the hardener that I used is the F8611. Fast hardener, because like I said, it's cool out here today. And then as soon as I do my last coat of clear, I'm gonna jump on it and blend the edge in with this BS10 urethane blending solvent. Works great. I'll show you the end results here in just a little bit. Okay, just put my 2 coats of clear on. And like I said, I feather edged it out on my blends. And then immediately I jumped on it with the BS10 blending solvent. So I've got everything covered. It came out great. I told you on my last video that I'd be trimming the doors out, which I've done. So yeah, it's dark here in North Carolina. Getting ready to have a little storm here in about a couple hours, so thought I could get them done beforehand and get them inside. But it's just base color, so that's what I've done. I took 3 coats to cover. And again, got my paint product from Sherwin-Williams Automotive, had it already reduced. I guess it's about maybe 56, 58 degrees tonight. She's flashing off pretty quickly because I got a good breeze coming through my under my porch here. But there's your 800J base color. Okay, finished up my pearl coat. Put 2 coats of pearl on all the trim area there. Let all that flash off for almost 20 minutes. And then I've cut it in with the cut-in clear that I was telling you about. And putting that clear on it, it really brought out the pearl in it. I know you can't see it by this, but let's see if I can put a little light on it here, might help. See that blue effect already? It'll hurt before you put it. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty. This one as well. You can see that pearlescence. But yeah, instead of mixing up 2K clear and spraying it and having to clean guns and all that, just buy you a can of this Transtar.